everyone. Thank you for joining me today for this super mini masterclass. This is going to be a quick little masterclass, but a very, very, very crucial one. We're going to tackle the top 5 mistakes in business English that even advanced ESL professionals make. Okay, let's jump right in. My name is Melissa B. Duarte. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the author of the Global Business English Mastery Series. I have a strong background in business in the UK, the US, Canada, and Australia, and I've spent the last 7 years teaching business English to professionals worldwide. I know global business English, and I know what mistakes come up often with my even advanced ESL professionals. So let's tackle these one by one. The first one is being overly formal. There's this kind of preconception that business English needs to be highly formal. And unfortunately, in the world of business, unless you work in a very traditional field like banking or government or law, if you're overly formal in business English, you're going to seem quite detached and quite out of touch. So this is the number one mistake I would find, and this is being overly formal in everyday business communication. We're not talking about contracts. Of course, it's a different language and it's quite formal, but we're talking about day-to-day business communication. So if a student says in an email, kindly revert back to me at your earliest convenience, it is so formal. It's not necessary at all in business communication. You just say, please get back to me when you get a moment. It's a lot more friendlier, a lot more collaborative, a lot more natural. This is very important. Another one is the verb execute. We're going to execute this product or project. We're going to execute this. We're going to execute that. Well, first of all, it's not good to repeat words again and again and again in any language. But execute's a very strong business English word, but you use it once, and then you're going to say put into effect, carry out, deliver. There's a lot. Execute has another meaning. It means to kill somebody. So it is quite a strong word. So if you could mix in other vocabulary, that's great. Put into effect if you can carry out this project. This is fantastic. Just so you know, in the bottom of the comments or the top of the comments of this video, when you're done this video, I'm going to include all my phrases, all my tips, all my vocabulary. So you can go down, click in the comments, and download the PDF to review everything here. Okay, so that's one. You just want to be in the know of how people speak around you. And again, unless you're in those super conservative industries, and most of us are not, you're going to sound a little out of touch. Why don't you go ahead and read emails from your colleagues? If you are more formal than your colleagues, you're not going to sound more professional. You're not going to sound more intelligent. You're going to sound out of touch. So really get to know the tone of your colleagues, the people you work with, your suppliers, and kind of match that. That's really important. The next one is avoiding phrasal verbs. There is an issue with phrasal verbs in English. Phrasal verbs are often taught kind of at the upper intermediate level. And so it feels like this whole tsunami of new vocabulary that people have to learn. The thing is, phrasal verbs are the backbone. They're the spine of English, and especially business English. I wrote a book. It's up there on the shelf. It's the blue one. And it's the ultimate A to Z of business English phrasal verbs. And I put in over 550 essential business English phrasal verbs. And it was really hard for me to bring it down to 550 because you need thousands. But I put the most essential 550 in that book. But it's a big book because we do speak with phrasal verbs all the time. So instead of saying we need to review the figures, you can just say, let's go over the numbers. And phrasal verbs come up all the time in business English. We use them all the time. They're very direct. They're very friendly. They're very concise. So they work really well in business English. Again, I know a lot of people don't like learning phrasal verbs. They think of it as new vocabulary, which it is. And it's very confusing. Google Translate does not translate phrasal verbs very well at all. Because phrasal verbs are common words. Together they mean something different. Embrace the pain. You need them. You have to learn them. And this is very important. And it's a perfect balance for your business English. The perfect business English is not formal, it's not informal, it's a balance and a marriage of the two. Okay, number 3 is using the wrong collocations. So certain words in English just simply do not go together. And this is pretty difficult. So you don't do a decision, you make a decision. Study these collocations in English. So you take responsibility for something, you meet a deadline, you make progress, you hold a meeting. So as you're learning business English, learn these collocations. Again, in the bottom of the, why do I say bottom of the comments? In the top of the comments, I'm going to include a PDF, and it's going to have all these tips, and I'll also put in a lot of these collocations that are very useful in business English. So you have to know you don't do responsibility, you take responsibility, and learn these words as their collocations, and that's going to help you use them in your daily English in business communication. This one is translating idioms from your native language into English. I mean, good for you for incorporating idioms. Idioms, again, like phrasal verbs, are used a lot in business English. Idioms are used probably more in business English than in general English because they really paint a picture and describe an entire situation. They're very evocative, and they say so much more with such a small amount of words. So good for you for using idioms. However, make sure that idiom is used in English. You can't always translate idioms from your language into English. So some languages may say, I'm under the water with work. Well, that's not English. In English, you say, I'm swamped with work. I'm drowning with work. So you have to make sure that the idiom you're translating from your language, good job, go into an online platform, find out what that idiom is in English. So it's very important to make sure you're using the idioms that are used in English. And if you want more idioms, that yellow book up there is my Ultimate A to Z of Business English Idioms. It's the first book of my Global Business English Mastery series, and it includes over 300 idioms that are essential for business English. It's a really big book. There's lots of dialogues, lots of quizzes, lots of exercises. So you're not just reading idioms, you're learning them, locking them in, and you'll be able to use them in your day-to-day business conversation. Both my books are available on Amazon. Okay, next one is small grammar slips. Now, even advanced level students, they really struggle with the most basic grammar. It's not the passive voice reported speech, articles, dependent prepositions, gerund and infinitive. I find advanced speakers, especially in the business world, they have great vocabulary, great comprehension, great fluency, great pronunciation, but they really struggle. Dependent prepositions, articles, gerund and infinitive. So it's really worth reviewing the basics of grammar. This is really important, especially at an advanced level. So you wouldn't say, I was on the meeting, I was at the meeting. Events, the preposition is at. Or I want you to join call. No, I want you to join the call. Calls are countable. Really important, review those 3 parts of grammar. Gerund and infinitive, dependent prepositions, and articles. Okay, we did it. Well, look at that, 8 minutes. We did very well. So this is my tips for improving your business English, because these are 5 common mistakes even advanced level English speakers make. If you want more of this, I do have my 2 books available on Amazon. It's a 5-part book series. It takes a long time to write a good book. I'm getting there. And I am launching masterclasses in July 2025, which in my bio, you can click on the link and do a pre-register to be involved on the waiting list. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you luck in your business English journey.